Hey guys, Michael here, and yesterday doing a video here talking about subwoofer placement. This is a big thing in home theaters that a lot of people get wrong. The reason for is because subwoofers don't produce a sound frequency that's the same as regular speakers. That means that on a subwoofer, like a box, you can place the speaker pretty much anywhere. You can make it downwards firing, side firing, or forwards firing, or upwards firing if you choose, because it's not directional sound, it's a low frequency. So that also means that placement of the subwoofer can differ between like a front, center, and like a left, right, or center channel, or the rear channels, or surround channels, because you want the sound coming from, for those speakers, you want the sound coming directly at your ears and not filling the room with bass. The thing about subwoofer placement that's different is, if I take, for example, over here, I have my drawing app. So let's just go ahead and draw, let's just say this is our room here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this sort of shape here. Let's just say you have your, let's say, this is like your movie theater. So you have your sofa, it's too big. You have your sofa like right here. That's not even accurate either. About here. So this is your sofa, okay? Conventional, regular, let's just call this your sofa. So I'll go ahead and put a text box here saying this is a sofa. Soda, no. So we're gonna say this is a sofa. So to position, let's just say ahead of the sofa here, this is the best way to position a subwoofer so that you get the whole room filled with sound. Because with a subwoofer, if you place it in the corner, say over here, this is your subwoofer, you're going to be getting sound waves coming out like this, right? You're going to get sound waves running all the way over to here. You're going to have them here, and you're only going to hear them here, and maybe a little bit over here. The way subwoofers work is because when the sound bounces off the walls, it cancels out each other. So that means if it goes over to here, this area, it's going to bounce off, and you're never going to hear any bass in the center here. So if you have one subwoofer specifically, like an average home theater, which is a 5.1 or 7.1 setup, you want a subwoofer to be placed properly, because if you have it here, as like I said, the frequencies are going to bounce off the wall, and over here where you're sitting, you're not going to hear any bass whatsoever. Proof of that is my home theater, which I have it set up this way, like so, and there's no bass whatsoever when I'm sitting in the middle of the room. But when I go to a corner, it's just super loud. So I end up having to turn the subwoofer up so loud that if I go out to exit my room, which is over here, that's my doorway, it's just blaring loud. It's just too annoying. So with that in mind, you want to make sure, oops, I can't go back anymore. You want to make sure that in your room, you position the subwoofer properly. So let's just say this is our whole room here. So you have your, I messed it up, so here you go. You have your sofa right here. So this is our, our sofa, right? I'm going to go ahead and draw a TV stand over here. Sorry about the audio. So like right here, we're going to have our TV stand sort of thing. Let's go ahead and bring that right back to the wall. And, you got your TV here, all that kind of stuff. And underneath here, you have your receiver and console and all that other stuff that you would use for a home theater. And let's just say you have one tower speaker here. We'll name these all down so you have a memory. So these are our tower speakers. I'm going to go ahead and place a text box in here. Speak 1. I'm going to go ahead and place it so it's right here. And another one here. SPK2. And we're going to have that placed right here. So these are two speakers, as you can see, clearly. Let's just say you were to place a subwoofer. Okay, well, there's no space, so we'll just say this is a subwoofer, right? So this is our subwoofer. I'll give you a couple examples on the best placing of the subwoofer. If you have a 5.1 channel, so we'll go ahead and draw all the speakers out for you. So here you're going to have your rear speakers and your center channel. So I'm going to go ahead and mark all these down here. Go ahead and place a text box here. Center. Go ahead and place it right there. I'm going to place rear L. Oops, I'm going to place one here. Rear R. Alright, so now we have our sort of 5.1 setup here. This is our subwoofer. You're going to find difficulty of hearing sounds when you're sitting right here. So this is where you're sitting. You're going to have sound waves coming out, bouncing around here. And over here, you're going to hear sounds on these corners. But in the dead center of the room, you're going to hear absolutely nothing. That's not a good thing because, of course, you want to hear everything in the middle. because, as I told you earlier, subwoofer placement, let's just say this is our subwoofer speaker, so the speaker is facing this way. The sound frequency sticker mounts off everywhere, and you're not going to hear it in the center. I can't emphasize this as much as possible because you have to place it properly. Subwoofers in the corner are going to sound the loudest on these 4 corners of the room, so over here, 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 and here. But they won't sound good at all when you're in the middle of the room sitting here. So how you want to place it is, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. So you're sitting here. The best way you want to place it is to have this subwoofer. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase this sort of subwoofer thing here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. We're going to have our subwoofer placed so that it's right here. Now, optimally, if you can have it placed in the dead center of the room, so like right, oopsies, what am I doing? Optimally, if you can have the subwoofer placed right here in the room, so here's your little subwoofer thing, right? That way, if you have it placed like this, you're going to have your frequencies bouncing around the whole room, and you'll be covered perfectly in the center. Now, it doesn't matter which way you place the driver, but you want it to be in the center of the room if you have only one sub, so the whole room will get filled with audio. It's like a 360 thing, but not really because of the way the sound frequency works. If you Google this, they'll tell you anything that do not place it in the corner unless you want full output. If you have 2 subwoofers, place them wherever you want, not together, but like side by side. Like if you can have one here, you can have one here, that kind of stuff. That's fine. But if you have one subwoofer, this is where you want to place it optimally, like underneath your TV stand or whatever. But most people, they can't do this, right? There's no space. So instead of placing it there, the majority of people will place it to the side of themselves, which is over here. We'll call this our We'll call this our subwoofer over here. Now, it's still in the center of the room, but it's on the side. And as I said, human ear cannot tell where low frequencies come from. So it's not directional. You're not going to hear bass from just one ear and no bass from the other ear, as if you were to have regular speakers playing about 100 hertz or higher. You want the subwoofer, so let's just say your subwoofer is playing 50 hertz and lower, and the speaker is taking everything else. So you're going to have frequencies, oopsies. You're going to have frequencies bouncing around like this in your room, that way filling up your whole room, and you'll have the optimum sound right here where you're sitting, which means you can turn the subwoofer down, you don't have to max up the volume and blow your speaker or whatever you want to do, and have even sound throughout the whole entire room. So placing your subwoofer here, or here, or here, or here, any of these corners are going to be the best for you. Now, if you have only one, let's just say your entrance to the room is, I don't know, over here. Oopsies, it's not a good representation. Let's just say the entry of your room is right here, okay? That's your entry of the room. You'd want it on this side or this side. I wouldn't be placing it here or here because it's going to be a disruption when you're walking through, depending on where you have space and where there's a power outlet as well. And also, you want to keep in mind wiring, because you got to wire the speakers over there. So optimally, if you have your little thing, oopsies, if you have your little receiver over here, right? Like this is your receiver thing. You want to have, if you can have it here, your subwoofer, that's just optimal, because that way you can just run small wires and it's better reception, it's better signal quality. But obviously, don't put it there if you can't. Don't make it sitting in the middle of the room. You don't want to make it look bad. Put it here. They'll sound in any of these 4 corners, here or here. They will sound just as well as they would here. So, yeah, that's basically subwoofer positioning for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Tech Boot!